Hey MJ. Thank you so much for your poems this week. I think I'm just trying to remember your questions. Excuse me, I know that you wrote both questions that applied to both, so I'm going to go down here. That's right. Okay, one was about tone and the repetition and if that worked. I noticed when I was reading this first one that there was repetition, and I was like, oh wait a minute, did MJ maybe mix up the prompts or something? But I really liked that you used repetition in both poems, and I really liked that you used it differently in both poems. I like that you're playing around with that. I also thought it was fantastic that you excerpted that line from a week two poem and decided to expand it and move farther on with it. So yeah, please just continue to experiment in those ways. Um, so the tone of the first poem, The Water Cooler, I thought it was pretty funny. I've worked in offices before, and um, this poem, as I'm reading through it, the different details sort of made me groan internally, thinking about those conversations, the talk of the cubes, as you put it in your poem, the printers, the birthday cake, the meetings, the company branded merchandise. It was sort of, it made me groan on the inside. So I think that's a really good thing. Um, in terms of Grace, the poem Grace, I just love a love poem. I really do. I love a love poem, and I thought that this was really beautifully done. I'll tell you that when this poem really started to feel original and authentic and really grabbed me was the third stanza. I feel like this idea of do you deserve someone? It's bordering on cliche. I think it's really beautifully written, but it's bordering on cliche. But when I get to this third stanza about how you've managed to make 2,000 miles completely disappear, and that I just that someone isn't bothered by your tears. I think that's the moment for me when this poem really starts to happen, when it really grips me. So for what it's worth, I think the poem starts there. Then I think moving on from there, I think all the details that you include are really beautiful. And I do think that the rhymes work. So thank you so much for your work this week, and I look forward to seeing where you go with these.